Hi, and welcome here on YouTube and welcome on my channel. My name is Lisbeth and I'm an abstract mixed media artist and I live in Denmark. When I stood up this morning, I got thinking about how long time it was ago since I had made a jelly printing session. So today I want to play with paints and my ruler and my jelly plate and a lot of different paints, acrylic paints. And for sometimes I have been saving these coffee bags or bags from other products. I have cut them up and wiped them off and cleaned them a little, but they are a little thicker than foil and they are coated in some way. I don't know how to describe it, but some are thinner or some are thicker than others. But I have saved some different ones, and yeah, this you probably know all the way around the world. But it smells quite nice because they smell of coffee, some of them, so I have a nice smell in my nose right now. But the things I have done, for instance, with this piece is that I have taken my heat gun and then I have put it on here, and then it starts to wrinkle and do some funny things, and I just try to use this to see if it works, and it does. So that is my plan, to try these different ones and see if they react differently and see how they will look, and make some very textured papers on my jelly plate. So that is the plan for today. I will put a link below in the description box for the playlist with other videos of different ways you can jelly print, and there are some funny ones in between. So let us see what I can come up with today. This really wrinkles, but it is not such a big piece, but never mind, I think I can use that. So what is the next one? That is something that there have been some crackers in, and it is a little more heavy, so let us see what happens here. Yeah, this again looks a little different than the first one, so that could probably be nice too. So let me try another one. Yeah, this is a little thinner. It is some wrapping from some cookies. So let me see how this works. think the thinner this foil is, the quicker it goes. But they all look a little different, so what else do I have? I have this bugle one here that is quite thin also. So I think I will try this one, and then that will be enough. Now I have enough to play with, I think. This looks quite funny, this one here. It's like I succeeding in making some patterns perhaps. But yeah, it's just trying and to see what you can come up with. Let me see. I think I will try to do some prints now. I just tried this one and it is quite heavy and really nothing happy here, so perhaps it can be too thick after all. So this I don't think will work. It doesn't work. So one lesson learned. So I will start with the coffee one, and I will just make the simplest kind of print you can make. So you put a blob of paint on your plate. Oops. And yeah, I am in frame. And roll it out. And the $100 question is always to get the right amount of paint on the plate. Not too little and not too much. And I have a roll of sheets. It is just some copy paper here beside me. So then I will take this piece and then I will not squeeze it, but firmly put it down and give it a little rub. Here, like this. And lift it, and oh my, that looks yummy. And I will quickly put just an ordinary piece of copy paper or printer paper down here. And yeah, I'll roll this off this side. Maybe it gives something. Yeah, it did. But that was just from the foil. That looks quite nice. I will save that, I think. So, let us see here. And that here is a paint spray. I have used the color of the paint. And that is a gorgeous print. I really like it. It looks like some flowers or some this time of the year where everything is yeah, I don't know the word for it, but it's all the plants and leaves are wrinkled up and they are smushed or smashed together and rotting away, and that is really, really nice. So that was a success. Let us do another one. So I will try this brown color here. Good. this off here. And I think I will take the same again and put it down. And squeeze it a little more than I did on the first one. Lift it up. Yeah, and press it over by the roll-off sheet. And then I will let this one dry. And then I will be back. I think this is dry enough. Like many of you, I have bought all kinds of paints during the years, and some of them I forgot I have, and some of them have been placed so I forget them, and then they get too old, or they get not fluid paint anymore. So I have decided to dig some of all these different paints ahead. I have to use them so I can get rid of some of all those bottles. So here I have some gold. I had quite forgotten I have, so I hope this will work. It is so crazy, you buy all these things and you don't use them, instead of use what you have. So yeah, that is just a little observation. It is so sad to throw paints away because they have gotten too old. They get thick and grungy, or yeah, they are nice when they get too old. And sometimes you have not closed your lid correctly, or yeah, there can be many reasons. Use your paints. That didn't work as I have expected. Yeah, perhaps it does. It looks quite nice, but I think the gold didn't come up as a thick layer as I wanted, but you can see the patterns here, and that is nice. So let us do another one. I have gone into the blue mode today, I think, so let us try some different blues, or different blue colors. That is a really strong color. Not a color I normally will use, but sometimes it's nice to do something different. Then I will take the bugle back foil and put down here. And lift it up and put it over here. And yeah, let us do this. Yeah, just an ordinary copy paper. Down here, sorry for my arm, this thing in sway. Yeah, that is also a nice marks here. So, let's see here. Some of the gold from the previous print come up there, but again, very, very nice. I really like the textures of these ways, the marks the foil is giving here. This is a little darker blue. I think I will use the same again. And remove this, and I can see there's a spot there. Yeah, and I will let this dry, and again take a print of the back here on my roll-off sheet. I will be back when this is dry. I think this is dry enough, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it looks really nice. Yeah, I will frame. I think I will try this rose gold and see what that would look like. Yeah, it looks like copper to me. Some of these metallic paints aren't the best to lift prints up with, and they dry faster than paints without metal in. And yeah, there, and just take a piece of copy paper, and I think I will let it sit for a little, just 2 minutes or so. I think this one is cooked, so let us see what it looks like. Yeah. That is also a nice print, and you can see the rose gold is peeking out a little here in the blue paint. I like that. I like to have tissue paper with black marks on, so I think I will try to use only black paint and tissue paper and just make a simple print with that. And then you can always use bits of it in your collages. And that is a nice way of working and putting some minor pieces in your collages. That was a lot of paint. I think perhaps it was a little too much. So, and a little tip, when you put your brayer down, don't lie it this way down with the roll down. Put it like this, then you hang into the paper by accident. So I will take the copy one again and squeeze it in here. Like this. And before I lift it, I have this kaduspapier. Like this. And I will just put it over here. And quickly take a tissue paper and put it down here. And hopefully it will come up. Hopefully it wasn't too dry, but I can always make another one. Yeah, you can see that makes lovely marks. Very vain, but I like them. So let us see here. Yeah, perhaps I was taking too much of the paint off. can always use parts of it in your collages, and I think it is nice. But there's still a lot left there, so I will find, what do I have that, perhaps this one is a little translucent. Try this one. But I really don't know if it is, but let us see. Oh, it is a funny smell, this paint. And I think I want to try this daily paper. Not to get my fingers all more dirty than is necessary. And it will always wrinkle, this paper here. So when it gets moisty and damp, and I don't mind. I think I would let it sit a little. Let us see if we can pull this. And it feels quite wet, but yeah. Really grungy, but a nice print, and some of the blue came up also. I really like this. So I will put this to dry, and let us see what we can do else. So I think I will try to use this blue one and the brown one here. And some of it off. There was a little too much, I think. And the brown one. Take the small one here and see if that could make a funny pattern. Yeah, I think there's too much paint on, but let us see. Perhaps, but perhaps we can try this paper here. It can take a little more paint than the copy paper can. So, let it sit for a little. It is a little easier to handle if your foil you have is bigger than your plate, than it is like this one here. It is only half size. I will let it sit a little. Let us see here what this looks like. So that is in half and half, and some of the black came up too. So I like to print on this kind of paper here, and it's not so screaming white what you can see there. But I think I will try the black one again on silk paper, and perhaps put a little more paint on, or not roll so much paint off as I did the last time. And then I will take this one here, let's see how that works. Yeah. Put it over here and take some tissue paper. And I think here I have perhaps too much paint on. But let us see. I think you need some practice here with the paint, not to put too little or too much paint on. But yeah, this one is getting black, and there are some nice texture and marks on this one here. I like that. There still is a lot of black paint left, so I think I will see if I can clean my plate with this ivory color here. Just roll it all out. There is something that isn't supposed to be there. That off, and I think I will take this. This is really not a good quality, but I like this kind of paper. I don't know what it is called in English, but in Danish we call it kadus paper. So, and it's a little. It weighs a little more than normal copy paper do, but it also tears quite easily, and you can't put much water or anything on it, then it breaks down. So I will give it a couple of minutes or two. Yeah, let us take a little peek and see. Yeah, I think it is working. Again, a grungy print. And for those of you who know me, know I like these kinds of prints here, and that is just cleaning my plate. So let us try to make a turquoisey one. Perhaps you can put a little of this in it. Oops, that was a lot. So let's take the copied one. I think this is the coffee one, and yeah, what is this? The bugle one is the ones that works best. So let us lift this one up and let this one dry. take a little for that to dry, but I will be back. Yeah, I think it is dry enough. And here I can choose to lift it off with a dark blue or the ivory color. And I think I will take this here, the ivory, because hopefully I was afraid if I take the dark one that it would be taking over the thing there are on the plate. Yeah. Roll that off and here, take a piece of copy paper and let it sit a couple of minutes. Let us see if it's done. And I think it is. Yeah. That looks very nice. That is a nice print. I think I will see if I can do the same with the brown. So let me do that. Let us see, I have these two brown. And that one that looks like chocolate. Yours. Let me see, I will take the beauty one here and squeeze down. And lift it up. You can always press it down again if you think there's spots where you have too much paint. And again, I will let this dry and dab this off and be back. Yeah, this is dry enough, so I will do the same as I did with the blue one. Put some of this ivory in and perhaps just a drop of gold. A little bling bling has never harmed anyone. And this look here, that is so yummy too. This there. And the plain piece of copy paper. I think you got it now. And I will just let it sit for a minute or two. Let us go for it and see if it is done. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can't see the gold really, but that doesn't matter. And that is also a very yummy textured print. I don't know if it is a way I want to do often this way here, because I think it is a little messy, because the packaging foil is sliding around on my plate, but it gives some marks I couldn't have done myself in other ways. And it is a free material, so no harm is done by doing it. So that is a nice option to do something that doesn't cost you a penny. But all this packing foil got me thinking of the foil I have in my kitchen like this. Yes, I pack my lunch in it and so I think if I perhaps squeeze that also, perhaps it could work the same. I don't know, but now I will give it a try. Sorry for the noise. It is so, be a little careful when you unwrap it again. Yeah. Something like this in size, and I can always put a corner up here of this. So I think I will start with Payne's Gray. Have a roll-off sheet ready also here. Maybe it looks black to you, but it is dark, a very dark blue. And I know why it is called Payne's Gray. It is because of a man who invented this color. But for the life of me, I can't understand why they are calling it gray. Other than it is his name, because there isn't any gray in this color. So it is the man's name and nothing about the color, because it is always blue, more blue than gray. Let us look here. The red is also given some marks. Remove this and put it up here. I don't know if you can see it. Perhaps you can see it better like this. Really, really nice. So I will just quickly, no, I think I will take my tissue paper here. Like this. And see how that looks. Yeah. Oh, that looks yummy. Also, that is also a very nice print. I think I will do it in another color and let it dry on the plate and lift it off with another color. Let me try this dark blue, a darker blue. Like this, and perhaps a little of this, and then I can mix them. I like to mix. And remove this here. And again put the foil down here on a little corner there, and press it into the paint. So it hopefully will make some lovely marks, so the print will get a nice texture. Yeah. Like this, and I will let this dry. The marks are much smaller here, the creases and crevices, or what it's called, small indentations, are much smaller when you do it on this kind of foil instead of on the packing foil. So it will take a little to make this before this is dry. So this is dry enough. So again, I will take the ivory. This Sminkes ivory is a really good paint to lift this first layer up. And again, just ordinary copy paper, and let it sit for a couple of minutes. I think this one has cooked and is done. So let us lift that off. Yeah. That is really also a grungy print. Yeah, I like that. But perhaps it is time to stop, else it will be a very long video. But I will take some pictures and close-ups of the ones, and I can also run through the stack with you so we can look at them. And but I will do it at the end of the video. All this crunching and crumbling up the foil and so got me thinking I could try to do it with my tissue paper. So I'll just roll a layer of black paint out here. Like this. And this is just ordinary tissue paper. Sorry for the noise. Scrunch it up and crumple it and lean it. And put it down. Here on the plate. Ever so carefully, not here I'm really with Mom's light hand, not squeezing very much, but like this, and I will remove it at once. And then I have this lovely print, and then I will take another piece of tissue paper and put it on. This was a crumbled one, and this here is what is left on the plate, and that really gives a nice print too. So that is positive and negative. That really can do something also if you're into black and white, for instance. Just put a little snip of it in if you're doing a landscape or so. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, that was just a little extra. Quickly, just let me run you through the papers we have made today. This was made with a coffee foil in black, and this was the foil I dabbed off on the paper on the full sheet. I won't show you any more roll of sheets now, because they look pretty much the same, and that is the same but just with brown paint. And here we are doing the bugle back, and that makes these impressions. And here I lifted it off with some rose gold, and this print here is just a tissue, and with one of the backs, nothing fancy. And some leftovers, and then it was lifted off with the turquoise paint on deli paper, half and half here, also on this paper here. I like to print on this paper, and this is just on tissue and just one print. And here the leftovers on the plate was lifted off with a ivory color and on the kaduspapier. And here more of the same, but using different backs, lifted off with ivory, and this is lifted off with the ivory And that is the roll-off sheet, and I really like this piece there. And that got me thinking about instead of using the bags, the foil, I wrapped my lunch in and squeeze that in the plate, and that is just with a paint spray and one lift off. And here I took another color and lifted it off with the ivory, and this was some I made after I was done. I really like this one. It is so floral. And here I did one on where I lifted it off on black paper. And the last prints here are squeezed tissue paper and with blue paint, and lifted it off with a paint spray. And this is just the paper you put into the crumbled paper you put into the paint and lift it over it once, and then you check what's left on the plate. And I really like these ones here. I think I can really use them in my collages. So a lot of paper in no time. It doesn't really take much time to make a lot of papers. And what I will do with them, I don't know yet, but we will see. But I will take some close-ups of some of them at the end of the video. So if you have been inspired and learned something new, or learned some tips and tricks you can use in your own jelly printing ways or in your collages or so, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful of you, and I would appreciate it very much. So look at the playlist for jelly printing if you're into that. There are several videos to look at. But I will say take care, be creative, and bye-bye for now.